Why don't we make any food jokes, because it's hard to catch up, especially when you're past a point of no return. A little humor to start us off, because who says learning about food can't be fun? We're about to embark on a delicious journey, exploring the art of making a mouth-watering lasagna. It's a dish that's loved worldwide, filled with layers of flavor, and we're gonna break it down step by step. So, buckle up your taste buds and let's get cooking. Now let's get down to business and talk about lasagna. Ever wondered what goes into making a mouth-watering lasagna? Well folks, it's all about the ingredients. Firstly, we have our fresh pasta sheets, the backbone of our lasagna. These are what give our dish its delightful structure and pasta goodness. Next up, we have the rich tomato sauce. It's the soul of our lasagna, bringing a vibrant red color and a deep, tangy flavor. It's a beautiful blend of ripe tomatoes, onions, garlic, and herbs. Then we've got the creamy bechamel sauce. This white, velvety sauce adds a luxurious texture and a lovely contrast to the tomato sauce. It's made with butter, flour, and milk, and seasoned with a dash of nutmeg. And lastly, a blend of cheeses. Mozzarella for that gooey stretch, Parmesan for a salty kick, and ricotta for a creamy touch. Now that we know what we need, it's time to get cooking. The first step to a great lasagna is a rich, hearty tomato sauce. Now some might argue that a good sauce comes from a jar, but let's just put that notion to rest. A great sauce, my friends, comes from the heart. It's a labor of love, a symphony of flavors that begins with the humble tomato. You'll need about 2 pounds of fresh ripe tomatoes. The riper, the better. These are the star of our show, so don't skimp on quality. Now let's turn these red beauties into a sauce. Start by scoring the bottoms of your tomatoes with a small X. This will make peeling them a breeze after they've been blanched. Drop your tomatoes into boiling water for about 30 seconds, then plunge them into ice water. The skins will practically slide off. Now, chop them up and set them aside. Next, you'll need a large pot. Into this goes a generous glug of olive oil. Heat it up and add a finely diced onion, 2 minced cloves of garlic, and a pinch of red pepper flakes. Sauté these until they're soft and fragrant. This forms the aromatic base of our sauce. Then it's time for our chopped tomatoes to join the party. Add them into the pot, along with a handful of fresh basil leaves, a dash of sugar, and a good amount of salt and pepper. The sugar is there to balance the acidity of the tomatoes, not to sweeten the sauce. Let this simmer for about an hour, stirring occasionally. As it cooks, the sauce will reduce, and the flavors will meld together. This is not a process you can rush. It's a slow dance, a gentle coaxing of flavors, and believe me, it's worth every minute. So there you have it, a tomato sauce that's rich, hearty, and made from scratch. It's the kind of sauce that takes your lasagna from good to unforgettable. With our tomato sauce ready, we can move on to the next step. Next up is the bechamel sauce, a creamy layer that brings our lasagna together. Now the bechamel sauce, also known as white sauce, is a classic French sauce made from butter, flour, and milk. It's like the secret handshake in the culinary world, simple but requires a certain finesse. It's going to add a beautiful creaminess to our lasagna, and it's deceptively simple to make. First off, we melt a good chunk of butter in a saucepan over medium heat. You want it to just melt, not brown. Then, we sprinkle in an equal amount of flour. This is what's known as a roux, and it's the thickening agent for our sauce. The key here is to whisk it constantly. Yes, you heard that right, no breaks for texting or checking your social media. This roux demands your full attention. Once you've cooked the roux for a couple of minutes, it's time to gradually add in the milk. Emphasis on gradually. You don't want to just dump it in all at once. Add a little, whisk until it's incorporated, then add a little more. Repeat this process until all the milk has been added and you've got a smooth, creamy sauce. Now the stirring doesn't stop there. The bechamel needs to simmer for about 10 minutes to cook out the flour taste, and you'll need to stir it occasionally to prevent it from sticking to the bottom of the pan. Finally, we season it. A bit of salt, a pinch of white pepper, and a grating of nutmeg. Yes, nutmeg. It might sound odd, but it gives the bechamel a subtle depth of flavor that's just divine. And there you have it. A perfect bechamel sauce. Smooth, creamy, and ready to layer into our lasagna. It's the glue that's going to hold all our delicious layers together, and it's worth every bit of the effort we put into it. Great job, we're halfway there. Let's move on to the assembly. Now comes the fun part, assembling our lasagna. Let's think of this as a delicious building project, a towering skyscraper of flavor, if you will. Our building materials: pasta sheets, tomato sauce, bechamel sauce, and cheese. Our tool: a spoon in our hands. Start by laying out your pasta sheets at the bottom of your baking dish. Now these pasta sheets are like the foundation of our flavor skyscraper. They will support all the layers we're about to pile on. So make sure they're laid out evenly, covering the entire base of the dish. Next, slather on a layer of that incredible tomato sauce we prepared earlier. The trick here is to make sure you spread it out evenly. This sauce is like the concrete in our flavor skyscraper. It binds everything together and brings a robust tanginess that balances the richness of the other ingredients. Now it's time for the bechamel sauce. This creamy, luxurious sauce adds a velvety texture and a subtle, nutty flavor to our lasagna. It's like the insulation in our flavor skyscraper, adding warmth and depth. Once again, spread this evenly over the tomato sauce. Then comes the cheese, the crown jewel of our lasagna. This is like the decorative facade of our flavor skyscraper. It adds a beautiful golden brown finish and an irresistible, gooey texture. Sprinkle a generous amount of cheese over the bechamel sauce. Repeat these steps until you've used up all your ingredients. Finish with a final layer of cheese on the top. This will give your lasagna that tantalizing golden crust that we all love. Make sure to press down gently after each layer to ensure everything is compact and will hold together when cut. And just like that, our lasagna is ready for the oven. Now all we need is a little patience as the oven works its magic, fusing these layers into a harmonious symphony of flavors. Trust me, the wait will be worth it. With our lasagna assembled, it's time for the final step, baking. We've made it to the finish line, folks. Now it's just about being patient and letting the oven do its magic. So preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Once preheated, slide your lasagna in on the middle rack. You'll want to bake it for about 25 minutes or until you see the cheese on top turn golden and bubbly. The aroma will be your first clue that it's nearly ready. But let's not jump the gun here. After you take it out, resist the temptation to dive right in. Let it sit for about 10 minutes. This allows the lasagna to set and makes it easier to cut into. Trust me, patience is a virtue that pays off in the lasagna world. Now for the grand finale, serving. Cut into your lasagna with a sharp knife, making sure you go all the way through the layers. Use a spatula to lift out the pieces, revealing the beautiful, layered masterpiece you've created. Pair it with a light salad or some warm, crusty bread, and you've got yourself a meal that's sure to impress. And remember, lasagna is like life. It's all about the layers and what you fill them with. There you have it, a mouth-watering lasagna right from your kitchen. And that's how you make a mouth-watering lasagna. From the simmering of that robust tomato sauce to the creamy decadence of the bechamel. Let's not forget the art of layering, pasta, sauces, and that glorious cheese, all coming together in a symphony of flavors. Now the real magic happens in your kitchen. Remember, cooking is about more than just following a recipe. It's about the love, the passion, the joy of creating something delicious from scratch. It's about the satisfaction of seeing your loved ones enjoy the fruit of your labor. So don't be shy, roll up those sleeves, and dive in. Now if you've enjoyed our little culinary journey today and you're hungry for more, there's a simple way to stay connected. Just hit that like button, share this video with your fellow food enthusiasts, and subscribe to our channel for more delicious recipes. Until next time, happy cooking!